Hello, UHL fans and players across the nation. This is Inside the UHL.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Thank you. Moving on to our top story today in today's game. Team 1 won the game 11-5, crushing Team 2. One of the storylines is Greg McLean takes over as the overall leader in the UHL standings as Doug McLean was not present, and Stuart Control randomly flies to Halifax. More on that later from our panel. Another story, Edward Dodsworth continues to struggle on nets. He didn't even want to play nets to begin the game, but people insisted that he's playing, saying, quote, "You're the top of the best here," end quote. But again, he struggled, letting in 11. Another story, Nak, him, and Shuli Dong make their first game appearances, Nak being his first UHL game. Big contributor. More on that also later. Also, finally, Riley, Bell, and Scott Sim continue their tough drought. Again, tough day for Riley as he scores near the end, but it just wasn't enough. And that will be more from our panel. Now, we move to the panel, coincidentally enough, and we first talk to Ed. Ed, what do you feel on the game? Hello, and welcome back to Inside the UHL. We have the panel here. We got Edward Dodsworth, Riley Bell, Doug McLean, and Nak Him. Yes, the rookies on the panel already. That just shows you what a little bribery can do, kids. Anyways, we first move to Ed, who's going to be talking to us about defense. What do you feel about the game today, Ed?
All right. Well, I think what's going on in UHL is that too many goals are being scored too easily. All the games are at least 10-plus goals per team, aside from today where it was a blowout. Now, the goaltenders have been playing really well. Matt Gradinsky especially has been blowing it away. He played really well.
That glove hand.
Yeah, exactly. The glove hand was just... He used a baseball glove. I don't know why. But what I think that there should be more emphasis on the defensive side of the game. Too many people are just staying up at the line, waiting for the ball to come to them. Then they rush in on a 2-on-1 or a breakaway. I think what needs to happen is that more people need to be devoted to the defensive side. Take your man, cover him, stop the goals from happening. That's the way that it should be done. Today there was some good examples of that in terms of Shuli's play. He played really well. He blocked a lot of shots, took away a lot of plays, all that kind of stuff. And as good as Matt Gradinsky played, he also had a lot of blocked shots. Nicholas Lai was in there, getting some, making sure that the plays weren't happening. And I think that really needs to be progressed and emphasized if the UHL is going to progress as a league.
That's good points. Now, do you want an Arjun Bowery throwing your stick at players though?
That's the thing. You got to do it legally, right? You got to work hard and get into the corners and make sure that the ball gets out and not make those blind passes up the middle, because that's what's killing teams.
Thank you very much, Ed. Good man. Now we move over to Riley Bell here, who has a little bit of a beef going on with these what we are calling cherry pickers in this league.
All right. Well, we call them cherry pickers, right? But really, they're just guys that stand in front of the other team's net. Essentially, they're way offside, but the UHL doesn't have offsides anyways, so that's why it's legal at the moment.
Yeah, I think that might be something that we need to change. I don't know.
I'm not going.
The competition committee will have to take a look at that.
Yeah.
I'm not going as far to say that we might have to change that, but
John Tortorella
but if
right
it
here.
but if it comes if that's what it's going to come down to, then we might have to do it. But
What about
guys,
icing? What about icing?
that could happen too. That's also
Maybe
up in the air.
if you shoot the ball from like around where your net is and it gets to the other end, then that team gets possession. How about that?
See, that could work.
See, now,
Again,
the league stopped the high sticking today. That was an important thing. I mean, there were too many high sticks,
That's true.
and then eventually they stepped in and said, you know what, the end of that one,
Yeah.
and that stopped the game, or it stopped high sticking in the game, and it increased it. But back to Riley and his cherry picking.
yeah. So these guys, they're racking up the goals, the points, but that's all they have. They have goals. They have the sheet facts. They're looking good on paper, but when it comes down to it, they're not all-around players, and that's what you want on a team that's going to win. If you're picking a team and you want guys that are going to take you all the way to the finals, you're going to want guys that play all-around offense and defense, not just sitting in front of the net, scoring those goals, and not coming back to save those breakaways and ultimate moments that could cost you the game.
Well said.
Good
Well
point,
said.
Riley. Now we move to Doug, and something that is a great story, a unbelievable story, I guess you could say, a runner-up to the Comeback Player of the Year trophy last year. Greg McLean.
Oh,
What do you got to say about him?
can't say enough good things about Greg McLean. He's playing hard. He's doing all the little things. You just can't get enough of this guy. Personally, game 2, he was great on my team. He racked up the assists, just shooting the ball down to me. But sometimes
It's the extra effort. It's the extra effort.
he doesn't have as great skill as some of the guys like Riley, Ring My Bell, but and Nick
I like that
Ryan,
guy.
Scott Sim, and guys like those. But he has hard work and he hustles, and it shows in both the standings and in the points.
I mean, this is just a guy who last year didn't even know what end of the stick to hold. And now all of a sudden, he's first in the league, and it's just mind-boggling. Now, we go over to Nagcam and first game today. Had his first career game. What did you gain from the experience? What was big for you in this? Like, what is the outstanding? I mean, you went out there and you took the role of enforcer. How was that?
Honestly, kind of fun.
I know you were. It seemed like you were gunning for Hardacre out there. The way you were going after him, and you hit him twice.
I went for the people that had the ball. Sorry, not putt. Little horse ball.
It sure was. It sure was exciting to see you out there, and we can't wait to see you out there much more often.
Next time I'll bring water.
Now we move to the quiz. Important.